Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on in here? Oh, oh my goodness. What is going on in here? Welcome as the smoke clears. Woo, to the big time show once again. That is being seen and heard live everywhere as we speak. It's just good to be here with you guys again on my regular time, Monday night at 7 o'clock. In the time for the big time show, all of these years, these 3 going on 4 years now. My son does not have practice tonight. It's really the only reason why I'm with you guys on the night. And I'm here. Just good to be back at my regular time. What's going on tonight? Hope you guys have had a great Monday. Hope you guys have had a good day today. Let's see if I can bring a little entertainment for you. As you come in, I hope that you would share the content. Hope you would. If you want to contribute to this podcast, you can. If you're on Facebook, you can use the stars. If you're on YouTube, use the super chat. You can do that. If you want to use the Cash App, it's very simple. $, the Big Time Show. $, the Big Time Show. You can do that. It's not a requirement, but I hope you would. But there's one thing that all of you can do, and that is hit that like button. Smash it. Just like that. Use your thumb. And my thumb right now, I just did about 25. Just a quick. I'm just going to ask for 20. For all those here, just smash it real quick. If you're on YouTube, double tap the screen, and you can get it right there. You don't have to do anything. Just double tap your screen. If you're on YouTube, you'll see a thumbs up or something. Do that for you, boy. That won't cost you a thing. It's free of charge. Just require you to do a little hand exercise. So I believe all of us can do that. Help your boy grow, if you don't mind. That's how you help me grow. I simply, sending a message to the algorithm. And usually what that means is they'll share the content with other people that I do not know. And that would be greatly appreciated by me. I just try to keep the show growing. I want to spend a special thanks to all of you that have consistently hung with your boy here and made things happen for me. The show is growing. Once you add everything up, I think I'm right over with Facebook, YouTube combined, a little TikTok, but unfortunately for me, because I don't have 1,000 followers on TikTok, I cannot go live like I used to. I think the President Trump at the time did something as we started out, and people that were on TikTok everybody was able to go live. And TikTok is a tremendous way to make your show grow. Because if I was on there now, I would have almost probably right everybody now, maybe in 8 minutes, probably close to 100 people that would be watching. Not saying they all watch at the same time, but you remember 3 seconds equals a view. And so it's amazing the power of TikTok. But until I get my 1,000, I can't go back live on there. So, hey, I guess that's a good plug. Listen, if you want to go to TikTok, I'm not there live now because I can't be live. But if you help me grow, I'll be able to get back there. At Big Time Lou. If you follow me on Twitter, it's the same handle. At Big Time Lou. L-O-U. At Big Time Lou. And you can help me out in there. Just go and follow it. And that would help me out tremendously. So just ways we can grow out. I only want to talk about one thing tonight. The latest news. The Cowboys are the gift that keeps on giving. And quite naturally, Dallas Cowboys once again are in the news. No doubt about it. I want to commend the NFL starting off by their obvious attempt to draw ratings. And as we all know by now, whether you're a hater or whether you are a semi-Cowboy fan or you're whatever you are concerning the Cowboys, please understand that if you want ratings, then you know what to do. I don't care who you were playing. It's the Cowboys. Now, because it would be the first game of the year, because people would be starving for football by that time. No doubt about it. People would be starving for football. The first game of the year will always be publicized. No doubt about that. So the ratings were going to be there anyway. Whoever Philadelphia played. Whoever Philadelphia played. It was going to be ratings anyway. They're the world champions. It's a big Philadelphia Eagle fan base. The ratings would have been fine. No doubt about that. It would have been big. But when you add the element of the Dallas Cowboys and Cowboy Nation mixed in with Philadelphia, you perhaps, and it's the first game of the year, you perhaps just might have the highest rated game of this entire season, to where it only the Super Bowl itself will probably be the only game that will probably, it depends on who in the championship games. I mean, I don't want to disrespect the NFC and the AFC championship games. It just depends on who's in it. But make no mistake about this. Cowboy games have always been in the top, 3? I mean, this is where it's been forever. I don't care what the record of the Cowboys is. I don't care whatever it is. It's going to be Cowboys, a Cowboy affiliated game is going to be one of the highest rated games in the NFL. This is nothing new, whether it is what it is. I've heard different opinions about what they feel about the game being the first game of the year. I have no problem with it. If you want my opinion, I have no problem with it. Thanks for all of y'all that's on here. Twitter, I am going to apologize to you because you may be commenting, but you can't because I didn't refresh it. So you probably can't comment. So I appreciate all of you guys on there. I forgot to redo it and all that. But for those that are on there, man, I appreciate you guys watching and hanging with me. It is what it is. I don't have a problem with the first game. I really don't have it. I really don't have a problem because I kind of knew it was going to happen. We don't have a problem when we're playing the Giants the first game of the year, which seemed to be almost a yearly thing. Didn't hear so much complaining about that. You say, a divisional opponent, people saying, I hear people talking about, we shouldn't be playing a division opponent so early. Why not? Why not? I mean, nobody said nothing about when we play the Giants every year, first game of the year. Nobody said nothing. So it's just the Eagles. It's the world champions. They're gonna raise the banner up. It's gonna be high intensity, high emotion. I mean, just it being Philadelphia against Dallas, I mean that's enough. It was already gonna be highly emotional. It was gonna be all that. But when you add that they're gonna be shooting fireworks and banner raised and all that emotion and all that loud noise that Philadelphia brings, mixed in with Cowboy Nation that's gonna be there. Gonna be a lot of Cowboy fans in that building that night. No doubt about that. September the 4th is gonna be a lot of blue and white in there. It always is. It is going to be electrifying in Philly on September the 4th. It ain't no doubt about that. It's the hopes of a new season. Have no problem with the game happening. Have no problem with that. And I'll give you my reason why. I love it. I'll tell you that. I'm excited because the Cowboys cannot run. If you look at who's on our schedule for this season, most of you have seen the actual teams that we're going to play. We just don't know the dates. Man, the Cowboys got a rough schedule this year. I'm talking about rough. The Cowboys have an extremely rough schedule. It looks like we don't have a typical 7-10 schedule. Once you go down and look at the teams that we have, it's brutal. It's brutal. Ain't no sense in us lying about it. I mean, we got to. Well, I believe we play in the AFC West, if I'm not mistaken. It's a crazy schedule. Somebody right now, as I'm speaking, are looking it up right now. We already know we got the division, which is going to be rough. Everybody's pretty good, and I'm going to go ahead and say the Giants don't. I know they don't have. They got. They got Rust. And they got Jameis Winston. I mean, nothing to go crazy over, but I mean, there is stability at the quarterback position. And then, of course, Jason Dart is there, the guy that they drafted, who eventually, I think eventually will take over eventually before the season is out. But make no mistake about it, the Cowboys have nowhere to hide. So it makes no difference if you got the Eagles in the first week or the 9th week. It makes really no difference. You can't hide. Everybody is rough. Everybody. And the Cowboys are going to have to play ball, and obviously they're going to have to play ball early. So what have we heard? This is why I'm excited. What have we heard Coach Schottenheimer and pretty much everybody say, but particularly Coach Schottenheimer more than anybody, because that's the one that's got a lot of microphone time so far, as he should, as he's the head coach of the Cowboys. What have you heard him say? It's 2 words in particular. Well, 1 word that I really want to concentrate on. Physical. Physical. He said it. We're gonna have to be physical. We want to run the ball, and we want to be a physical team on both sides of the ball. Well, week one, guess what? That's exactly how you're gonna have to play. Because you're going against a team who we know is going to be physical. Philadelphia, just call it what it is. I don't like Philadelphia, but you got to call it like it is. They are the world champions. That's number 1. Number 2, they have the best offensive line in football. They do. They have a running back, an all-world running back, who ran for over 2,000 yards last year. That's why they're the best. That's why they have the best offensive line. They open up holes. They move people. They physically dominated people. They did. You can't have a running back that run for 2,000 yards and you don't say, okay, his line is top 3. No, they ain't no top 3. They numero uno. And they got a back that everybody knows is gonna get the ball. And you better have some players there, or he'll get his first 150 against the Dallas Cowboys. So we already know what to expect from Philly. Oh, it's no doubt about that. And then, of course, you know what they have on the outside. They got killers on the outside. Look, Philly, look, you can't, I don't like them, but you got to give them credit. They the best. They the champions. They are. So that's the way you're going to have to, that's the way you're going to have to, look at it. Now, I like it because we gonna have to go at them. We're gonna have to go at them. We're gonna have to, you can't finesse this. So you got what's this? This is May the 12th. We got to September the 4th. We already know who we playing. We know we on the road. We know it's going to be an electric atmosphere. We know that if you come down here playing finesse ball, you're going to get ripped apart. I love it. You got 2.5 months, whatever it is. Let me see. It's May 12th, June, July. We got over 3 months. Just like they got the same amount of time to get ready for us. Look, this is not hard, y'all. This is not hard. I love it because what he's talking about is going to be, on display in the very first game. And no doubt, an intense football game. Playoff type atmosphere. I'm expecting that immediately. I'm talking about playoff atmosphere. That like you feel the pressure starting off. I love that. I'm glad they're gonna feel it. The whole world gonna be watching. The whole world. And if you go down there playing for this, playing like you're scared, playing like if we're gonna find out about Guyton, we're gonna find out about Steele, because there's been the most complaints. Because you're going against a defensive line that if you're not right, you're going to get exposed. We're going to find out. This one game, whether we win or lose, it does not define the season. Nobody ain't, you'll be either 1-0 or 0-1. It would be beautiful to be 1-0, no doubt about it. But if we 0-1, we all right. So let me get that out the way. It ain't the playoffs. It ain't the Super Bowl. It's just one game. You got 16 more. It's a good litmus test to start off, but you really can't say it's a litmus test because what team you are in week 1, you won't be that team in just week 4 or week 5. You're still trying to figure it out. Now, but there ought to be a brand of football that should be displayed on that night by the Cowboys. You know what you got to do. You know you're gonna have to you're gonna have to put some hats on people. You're gonna have to put the hat on people. You're gonna have to hit folks violently. Because they're gonna do it. You gotta meet a bully with an attitude of being a bully. This is why I like it. We talking the talk right now. I love it. Do I think it's gonna happen? I think they are. But we haven't seen it yet. So we will see it. Won't that happen? Now, let me get to this part. Who has the advantage? You know what I think? I believe the Dallas Cowboys have the advantage in the game. I didn't say they're going to win. I think we got the advantage for one reason. Because they Philly don't really know how to prepare for us. And I guess you could say the same thing about um, Philly with Dallas. Remember, Philly has lost both of their coordinators, offensive and defensive coordinators. So they got two new coordinators. I think that's a lot to handle. I guess you can say the same thing about the Cowboys, but you got to go all the way back to the Seattle days to get a view on how Brian Schottenheimer called plays. And you really can't really lock in on that. You can see, maybe his rhythm of calling plays, but you got to keep in mind Schottenheimer's rhythm of how he calls plays was based off the talent that he had there. Yes, we know he likes to run the ball, but Schottenheimer ain't never had a CeeDee Lamb and a George Pickens and a Jake Ferguson all at the same time. So you can't base everything off when you have a Rashard Penny and a Doug Baldwin and a Tyler Lockett. Y'all see what I'm saying? Tyler Lockett and Doug Baldwin, the wide receivers for the Seattle Seahawks at that time, they are not CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So when you have something like that, your play calling may change a little bit. You understand? He had Penny and he had some real good running backs, and those guys are better than our running back room now. I think our running game is we really don't know. We know it's going to be by committee, but are they better than what he had in Seattle? I don't think so. Just like the receivers. The Seattle receivers are nowhere near Lamb and Pickens. Doug Baldwin's a good receiver. Tyler Lockett, as we all know, is a good receiver, but they're not on the level of CeeDee and George Pickens. So we don't know really how. I'm saying you really don't know how he's really going to call a game. If we can't run it, see, I love Tyler Booker's pick. Love it. Happy about it. Told y'all, right? So happy about it. And I know, what he potentially could mean, but I ain't seen it yet. Can he move Jalen Carter or not? I know what he did in college. But can he whip Jalen Carter now? See, we ain't seen it yet, so I don't know. Can Tyler Guyton, has Tyler Guyton gotten better? I don't know. Can he block edge rushers? Something obviously that he struggled with. He struggled with it consistently for the year. I mean, second year, more confidence. Really don't know what he's worked on. Don't know what he's done, but can he do it? Can our offensive line move people? If we can move people, then we can do all the things you want to say. But if we struggling up front, it's Dak Prescott in the shotgun, buddy. In the pistol formation with some occasional runs. Then the last thing is this, y'all. Not the last thing, but one of the things. I don't know if Philadelphia gonna be good like they were last year. I don't know that. Figure they. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Is Saquon gonna have a 2,000 yard year like he had last year? I don't know. It usually don't happen, y'all. Joe Barry had no back-to-back 2,000 years. I'm not saying Saquon He's not great. And Saquon, first of all, Saquon before last year was known primarily as an injury guy. When you need him the most, he wasn't there. Just had one of those years last year. Like a DeMarco Murray type year. Had one just amazing year, and then after that, he fell back into himself. I don't know. Can Dak Prescott stay healthy? I don't know. I do know this. He'll be ready for game one. Everybody should be ready, locked, and loaded for game one. By now, we should all know. I don't know how Schottenheimer's going to do it, but I doubt that he does it. But our starters ain't playing too much preseason, if any. So you talking about fresh. I would assume that Saquon Barkley is not going to play in the preseason. I don't want to take no chance that man getting hit. I doubt Jalen Hurts plays it. I mean, these guys, everybody going to be fresh as you can be. I don't know. If you ask me if Philly and Washington are going to be in the playoffs again, I would say yes. I don't know if Philly is going to be as dominant as they were last year. I don't know that. I say they're going to be a double-digit winning team. If I had to, put money on it, I would say yes. Which means they didn't drop a whole lot. I don't expect them to drop a whole lot. But I don't see them winning no 14 games. I don't see it, but that's why they play the ball game. It's going to be kind of interesting because this is a whole new staff. And you have to say the same thing about Philly. New coordinators. Cowboys have new coordinators. But we know Philadelphia. We know Jalen Hurts. But they really don't know the system of how we are going to attack as far as running the ball. They don't know. And I think that's an advantage for us. If you're looking for some real early things, of course. A lot can happen between now and week one, praying to God that the injury bug don't bite us in training camp, which, for every team, they thinking the same way. You got to factor that in. I mean, nobody goes through a training camp without one person, getting injured where they lose, games and stuff like that. So you just can't, it's like that. I'm excited about the matchup. I'm excited about the matchup, y'all. I am. I couldn't think of a better way to kick this thing off. It's going to be high intensity, man. It's going to be high level playoff intensity. And the Cowboys can't run. They already know what they got to do. When they heard that today, I'm quite sure everybody started shaking their head like, oh, yeah. Let the trash talk begin. We got 3 months of this, of trash talk. I'm quite sure some of the players, if you don't know, I think it's this Thursday. The Cowboys are going to do a scheduled release show, and I think Michael Parsons and CD and OC are going to be there for the whole show. I think it's going to be on YouTube. So I'm quite sure they ain't gonna say nothing wrong, but I'm quite sure they're smiling. The Cowboy fans, some Cowboy fans don't want it that early. These players are dying to get a hold of each other early like that. Let's be very clear. You don't think they don't want to get to Philadelphia and try to ruin the banner night? You better hurry up and understand. Oh, they want to see this. I want to see it. Now imagine this, y'all, and I be saying this until game time. The whole world, even though it's the Cowboys, the betting odds, without a doubt, will go to Philadelphia. Okay? Imagine, if Philadelphia win, it's going to be expected for them to win. They go 1-0 and it's fine. Cowboys don't look horrible, bad. It's a close game. Even though I'm sick of having more victories, I guess people will hang on to this. Hey, they played well. They just didn't make the game at the end or whatever. All that type of stuff. However, the other side of the coin is, what if the Cowboys pull this off? Let me tell you what that would do. This would be categorized as a big game, without a doubt. Even though it's the first game, it's a big game, y'all. I don't even want to even minimize it. It's a big game. It would give the Dallas Cowboys. The confidence boost that a team really needs at the beginning of the season. A win like this would do wonders. You know what I'm saying? It would. Philly wouldn't say that because they the champs. They are expected to win. Vegas is gonna have them winning, and all that. Just be another night at the office. It'll be what it's gonna be. But man, if the Cowboys go down to Philadelphia, see, if Philly beats us, you don't put that don't put the league on notice unless they beat us 50-0 or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Only that would, if the Cowboys lose 35-17 or something like that, that's the only way Philly would send somewhat of a message. If Philly beat us 28-24, that wouldn't really send a message. It'd be expected because the line would probably be 3 or 4 points anyway. So that's nothing. But if the Cowboys pull off a win here, it would put the NFL on notice. See the difference? It would. Can you imagine if the Cowboys beat Philly on Thursday? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Sports Center on the next day? So that's what you lead off with. I mean, whether win or lose. Can you imagine if the Cowboys pull out? Can you imagine Stephen A. on first take the very next day? If the Cowboys pull it out. Can you imagine Michael Irvin on Speak? Can you imagine how he gonna be if the Cowboys pull it off? Can you imagine LaShawn McCoy with his hating tail? Can you imagine how he will fast forward? Hey, we don't know. We don't care about the regular season. We just care about the playoffs because they don't want to give the Cowboys credit. They fast forward the whole year. But then when the Cowboys lose a regular season game, then you want to talk about the regular season. But if they win, they roll with the narrative. Well, the Cowboys are, we're not judging the Cowboys in the regular season. We only judge them in the playoffs. Kind of like some Cowboy fans do. If we lose in the regular season, you want to talk about the regular season game. It's amazing. It's amazing. But can you imagine the narratives if the Cowboys would win win this game? Oh my God. It'll put the league on notice. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm really trying to tell y'all. You gotta look at this thing. Now, let me say this. I appreciate everybody here. Hit that like button for me, y'all. Let me say this. I really do believe. Yeah, Shane. Oh, thank you. I wasn't thinking that way, but let me entertain your comment. What the Cowboys gonna fit them just beat their brains out? You talking about putting the league on notice for real. Nobody want to entertain them. But what if the Cowboys go down there and blow them out? Can you imagine the narrative? Ooh, wait, that Friday, man. I would, I get to hear Steve and they say, hey, it was just one game. Hey, just one game. Philadelphia will be there. Trust me at the end. Philadelphia will be there. Trust me at the end. Just one game. As far as Cowboys goes, just wait for it. What can go wrong will go wrong. Don't worry about this. This is the setup. This is what the Cowboys do. This is what Stephen A. gonna say. Instead of giving them credit, this is what he gonna say. Y'all know this. But forget all that, because everybody gonna have an opinion. This is what I want to. I'm in full belief that the Cowboys, and please nobody get offended by this. I believe that the Cowboys should load the gun as much as possible. I think they should load the gun. In other words, I think they should keep adding some more weapons between now and week 1. I'm in full agreement with some of my brothers who have talked about 2 additions, even though I don't think it's going to happen. At least one of them that I'm getting ready to say. DJ Reader from the Lions looks like he's going to be available. He is available, I'm sorry. A defensive tackle, a proven one tech that can cause damage. I think we need to entertain him. I'm not sold on what we have. I'm sorry, I don't trust Mozzie to be, that effective. I think he's going to probably play better. I think that we need to add that, to the Dallas Cowboy quote unquote gun. That would be a big signing. Somebody like him. All the defensive tackles, the good ones are gone. They signed already. You don't see the real good ones, just floating out here like Reader could be. That would be a big one. I think that's one thing that we can improve on. I don't trust what we have now. I've seen Mozzie and Osi try to stop the run, and all I saw there was get pushed back. I got too much video to prove that. So if that's what we lining up with, I'm thinking that's a weakness still. You see, that's why I was saying I love it because it's Philly, because you know what Philly wants to do. They already don't believe. Trust me, they're gonna stack us. They're gonna test us. They're gonna test us. They're gonna test Mozzie to see if he got better. They're gonna test OC. They're gonna test him, and we're gonna find out if they can match up with the line. And then, of course, we got guys that's on, of course, behind them, rotation, and see if they can. They're gonna test to see if we can stop the run. I say let's get as best as we can. I think we get even better at the one tech for sure. I'm serious. The rotation will be good. I think that's good. We got depth there. I just say let's add some more depth. If you get a DJ Reader, that's good quality depth. I think we can get better at that. There's still a question about cornerback. Like, no Diggs ain't gonna be there. Lot of talk about Carson. It's a lot of talk about Carson. Is he ready? Is he ready? I don't know. I don't know. Ravel coming off ACL. All the talk is, hey, He's gonna be ready at training camp. Man just had surgery not long ago. Is his knee really ready to go like that? Why not sign Gilmore? I'm just saying, let's load this gun. Load it. It ain't gonna cost much. It ain't gonna cost us much. Go ahead. Let's get Stephon Gilmore back. I would feel good about that. It's still, I got question marks. I ain't saying we got enough. I just don't trust Carson. I don't. Y'all might, but I don't. He's coming off injury too. I ain't say he's gonna get destroyed by Devontae or AJ. I'm not saying that. Who's gonna be our third corner? I mean, do you know if in the event that some of these guys are right, are we gonna move Bland when we play nickel? Are we moving Bland to the inside, which he can do, of course? Or do we leave him outside? I mean, I got a lot of questions about corner. I'm solid in a lot of places. I'm saying just a few more pieces can load it up. Now, the one that everybody's saying, and I believe my brothers are calling for this, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I heard Brian Broader say, in terms of Nick Chubb, that he asked around, he had sources in there, and the sources that Brian Broader said, they said that we're done at running back. I believe it. I don't think, unless it's an injury that happens, that you might consider someone else or whatever. Don't necessarily mean that it's Nick Chubb. But the thought, let me just say this, in a running back by committee room, okay? In a running back by committee room, why not add Nick Chubb? He's not gonna be the workhorse. You're probably the running back room with the band that we don't have a workhorse who's gonna carry the ball 22 to 25 times in the game. You're gonna do it by committee, okay? Nick Chubb would be a tremendous. And I know he's coming off the ACLs and all that, but I'm quite sure all of you have seen the videos, all that type of stuff. Of course, he ain't got hit, but he looks good. I think he could help the team. Sure, good. He fits the description of what you want to do. He fits the description of being physical, downhill. If you want to have a brutal offensive line, it's pretty good to have a pretty good brutal running back. Chubb fits that. I say load the gun up. I say load the clip. And maybe since we know that Philly is the first one and we know how they play, we know how physical they are, there's no room for finesse. None. Starting the year off with a bully. The way you handle a bully is you got to bully them. And that is the narrative. That is the narrative that Schottenheimer, which I love, is trying to promote. Physicality, being the most physical team. Okay. And let's load the clip with some physical players as best as we can. I believe that the Cowboys, just like Brian Broaddus, I believe they're through. But as a way, you can get better. Just saying. He'll be cheap. He will not come with major league. He coming in here with the Cleveland Brown expectations as far as, him being the lead dog. we're not expecting that. I believe there would be a tremendous addition to the team. I do. You're going against the champs. And yes, you're gonna see them again later on down the road. And you know it's a tough division. You need weapons. You do. The draft and developmental system that the Cowboys have worked all these years. Man, it's you produce Pro Bowlers from it. I can't argue that you don't have an eye for talent. I'm not saying that at all. It's obvious that we do. Made all pros from the draft development. Kid Cowboy. I've been watching you. I ain't been reading, but Brian Broaddus is in the building, man. He don't work for the Cowboys as far as being a scout. But he's in the building doing shows there. All you gotta do is look at it. He works on, the Cowboys don't own 103.5 The Fan. He talks directly to Stephen Jones as part of the show. He has connections inside the building. In other words, his word can be trusted. Everybody knows that. You don't have to work for him. You can be inside. See, me, like I'm talking right now, I have absolutely no connection. I got one connection in there. One. And that's Vach Lombardi. That's it. That's the only person that I know. That's the only person I know that's presently inside the building. He don't work for the Cowboys. I can email Vach. I can text Vach. I can do all that. See what I'm saying? That's the only connection I got. My word, I said all that to say this. My word can't be trusted when it comes to the Cowboys. My word is primarily opinionated. Just my eyes, my reading, my little research, my little film work, but you can't put your hand on it. However, there are some people that are connected in that organization that if they say my source has told me, first of all, he ain't got to name the name, but you know where he getting it from because he's in that building. So I trust Brian Broaddus' word. That's me. I do. I mean, I appreciate anybody that look at me and support my little show here. I appreciate all that, but make no mistake about it, I have no connection at all in that building. None. So my word can be challenged. It can be tested. My opinion can be questioned. It can be debated. If you want to go that route, you can do that. But there are some people that when they say it, you probably need to put your money on it. When Adam Scheffner says this, you might as well put your money on it. If James Slater, who was in that building, says this about the Cowboys, you put your money on it. And Brian Broaddus, to me, may not be to you, to me, is one of those guys. One of our content creators, Mike Fisher. When the Fish report comes out, you probably need to listen to him. You see what I'm saying? When Mike Fisher says something about the Cowboys or what he's heard or what he knows, he ain't just talking out the side of his neck. He got some sources. There's only a few guys, you know what I'm saying? You can listen to them. If you want to go with the content creators that we've grown up with, let me tell you this. There's another one that you probably need to start putting your hat on, your money on. And that is Law Nation. Our brother, I got Law's number right in my phone. Texted me. He's been on the show. I've been on his show. Listen, if Law says this, and with the connections that he's grown with, he lives in Dallas now. If Law says this, and y'all seen the video, he's there with Michael Irvin. He's been there with Prescott. He's been there. You see what I'm saying? So if Law says this, might want to listen. He has connections. He's with Clarence Hill. See what I'm saying? He's with him. So Clarence Hill's connections, some kind of way becomes Law's connection. He's been there. See what I'm saying? There are some people that you gotta listen to. You know, you gotta put a little extra weight on what they say because they know a little bit more than what we know. I'm just throwing it out there. Now, let me get back to Philly. Philly is let me say this. What's up, Darren? I see you. Let me be honest tonight. And I need y'all to be honest. Cowboy fans in here. See, this is the narrative that a lot of things are going. I had a video that I did not put in here. I wonder, can I do that? Man, I want to do that. Let me see if I can do this. Y'all bear with me real quick. Because I don't even want to ruin it. Because I know some of y'all seen it. And I want to do this. Yes. See if I can get this. This is gonna be too much. I don't think I'm gonna be able to show that. Can I do this? Okay. I'm gonna try to do this, and I didn't put the copyright stuff up, so but I want to prove my point. So I might get in trouble for this. So be it. I'll sacrifice it tonight. All right, I want y'all to see this. Listen. If you can't see it, it's because I have to have this show in this view to get more views and whatever else. So I'm gonna try to share this, and I want you guys to listen if I can. See if I can do this. Yeah, right. Oh, that's too small. That's too small. See if I can do this. Y'all forgive me. I think my voice may go out. Hey, just let me know if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Still? Can you guys hear me? Just type in yes. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Nobody ain't saying nothing. Okay, thank you, Darren. Thank you. You can hear me. All right, I'm gonna try to do this. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Let me turn this music off. See, y'all hear that? Y'all think I'm finna go. Thank you, Greg. I see you now. Let me pause it. I want y'all to hear this. This is LaShawn McCoy. Y'all listen. Y'all listen.
Will Pickens finally get him over the hump?
What's over the hump?
NFC Championship game.
Oh, whoa, no. That was quick. Yeah, no. No, sorry, no. NFC Championship game? Dak Prescott? Yo, y'all crazy on this show. One little trade, y'all just lost y'all whole fannies. Y'all getting crazy.
Hear our answers yet?
Are you kidding me? No, they're not. It's not getting over the hump. And it's not because of no George Pickens. I think George Pickens is a really, really good wide receiver. I would love for him to be on my team because that's how good he is. But it's not about him. It's about the quarterback. Let me tell y'all something, though, because y'all always talk about he needs help. And I was thinking about, like, all these years he's been playing with the Cowboys, they always seem to find him help. And it's not enough for some people. I don't know. But since Dak has been with the Cowboys, he's had 55 Pro Bowlers. That's the second most.
Sheesh.
That's a lot, man.
A lot.
Offense and defense, and he needs more help. Well, y'all talk about the NFC Championship game.
I thought Pro Bowlers didn't matter.
Who said that?
I thought it was all pros.
I mean, I made both. I count all of them. I'll just say this real quick.
That's a lot.
The only thing that matters is that when we get in the playoffs, right, can number 4 do it? It's not going to be about no Michael Parsons because he's going to deliver. CeeDee Lamb, he's always going to deliver. George Pickens, I believe he's going to deliver. It's not about them. It's about number 4. And I know y'all get mad when I talk like this, but I can't change the conversation that y'all want to hear. Because when I watch the Cowboys have better offense, better defenses. I watch them have top 3 most talented rosters. I've seen it. And then I've seen him get in the playoffs. He had a great regular season year, right? Matter of fact, he was second in MVP voting, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they played the youngest team, right, in the playoffs, the Green Bay Packers, with a not a guaranteed type quarterback at the time, right? Well, it wasn't proven yet. Jordan Love.
You can say rookie.
And you get smashed on, man. Right? Throwing picks and all type of stuff. And we're going to sit here and talk about the NFC Championship game, so no. There's no hump he's getting over. There's no bump he's getting over. None of that. Until the quarterback actually plays the way he's paid.
All right. Now, of course, LaShawn McCoy is a hater. Let's get that understood. First of all, he's a hater. And he's one of those ones that will always find the negativity in the Dallas Cowboys. Let's get that understood first. But what I want to say is, the reason why I showed you that is because I want you to hear that. Is because sometime in life, sometime you have to accept the message, even though the message is coming from a known hater. Now, there's some things that he said in there that, of course, are horribly raggedy, such as you heard him say that he believes that CeeDee Lamb will deliver. He believes that George Pickens will deliver. He believes, these guys will deliver, but if CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are delivering, who they getting the ball from? See, that's why you can't put that on there. Because, see, if they're delivering, that means Dak is delivering. They can't do it without Dak. I mean, he's the quarterback. He got to throw them the ball. So if you feel like they're going to deliver, the only way they're going to deliver is unless Dak throws them the ball, right? That's just common. That's why, you just can't, you got to nitpick his message on that. Then the other part is he talked about 3 things. Number 2, he talked about that Cowboys, he brought up the Green Bay game. Well, the part that everybody wants to talk about is that nobody played at all. And everybody forgot that at halftime, I believe Green Bay had 35 points up. I mean, did Dak play defense? I mean, I know he didn't play well from the quarterback position. I remember throwing the pick 6. I remember that. I do remember that, but our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Nothing. We couldn't do nothing. Y'all, everybody don't forget. Nobody don't want to say that. We want to put all the blame on Dak. When you're down 35-3, no, the offense didn't score, but the defense didn't stop nobody either. Right? Okay. Now, there was a couple things that he said that are factual. It is. 55 Pro Bowls. That ain't even counting all pros. That ain't counting all pros. That's a lot. That's a lot of good players he doesn't have. In other words, the gun was pretty loaded, in areas. Again, we really just had a great defense, really, until Quinn got here, to be honest with you. Now, let's not act like we just had a top 10 defense, Dak's entire career. We've had number one offenses, but the defense wasn't all that. Just be honest. We haven't had. I mean, whatever year you want to go with, we haven't had the defenses. However, there is one thing that he did say that I want to throw up for all of y'all, and it leads to the Philadelphia game. Because, see, when you play great teams, and both teams are pretty good, and I'm not even putting the Cowboys in the category of great teams, but when you got teams that are somewhat matched, usually what happens is two things either happen. The defense are the defenses, or whoever is on come out on top, played an exceptional game, able to shut down, offenses, et cetera, or quarterback in real tight games who have the moments, they take advantage of them. That's what separates the good quarterbacks from the great players. The great quarterbacks take advantage of moments that they're given. I've told y'all that analogy over the years. If you've been on my show, I couldn't say it any better than Isaiah Thomas, the great guard, Hall of Fame guard from the Detroit Pistons. Someone asked him, they said, what makes the real good players from the Hall of Fame players? What made them Hall of Fame players? And Isaiah said it best. Isaiah said, the great Hall of Fame players took advantage of the moments. That's why you see the highlights. Dr. J doing the scoop under the gold and the layup. That's why we still see it. Jordan flying through the air, hold it with right hand, flip it to the left, and last second shot poses. And, the great players are the players that take advantage of the moments. Tom Brady in football, giving them the ball in the last 2 minutes of any drive, and you're in the league, you're not comfortable because he's got the ball. And how many times have we seen it? Why? He's taking advantage of the great moments. Drew Brees, it was a great quarterback. He's going to the Hall of Fame, first ballot, but he won the Super Bowl. But before then, he couldn't get past nothing. He was just a quarterback who threw all them yards, all them touchdowns, and didn't get nowhere. Why do people consider Tom Brady better than Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning arguably is better than Tom Brady, but we can't say that because Brady took advantage of the moments. Of course, he had a great defense. Of course, he had a great head coach. But when the moments came that it was time to produce, he was like had ice in his veins. It wasn't that he was more talented than Peyton Manning. It wasn't matter that skill-wise he was better than Peyton. He just took advantage of the moments. Dak Prescott is not taking advantage of the moments. And that is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a team. He can't do it by himself. But when the moments have arrived, I know he got the most, his stats say he has a lot of great comebacks and all that type of stuff. And I said all that to ask y'all this. I'm putting y'all on Front Street tonight. Who do you trust more? Which quarterback do you trust more right now? Dak or Jalen Hurts? Boo your Cowboy loyalty. Just be honest. From what you have seen these last 4 or 5 years? Who do you trust more? If I was to ask that about football, if I was asked that to football people around the world, I guarantee you it'll be almost even. Be seriously though. It's a big game. Usually quarterbacks make the real difference in these type of games coming up, unless of course it's just a flat out blowout. But who do you trust more right now? There's people that say if you switched both quarterbacks to the other team, there are people that would say the Cowboys would win. And there are people that would say that Philadelphia would win too. You give Dak, AJ, and Devontae, and Goddard, and a great offensive line, and a great running back like that, there are many people that would say that Dak Prescott will be the MVP of the league. Then you also have just a few that would say that the Philadelphia Eagles would lose. Who you trust? I hear you, Quack. Kid Cowboy say Hurst been in 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. No, but I don't think. You know, he's been surrounded. Kid Cowboy, can't deny that. He's been surrounded. It also helps that Jalen Hurts runs the ball. That's not Dak's game. You know, Jalen will have 200 yards passing. You'll look down here, have over 100 yards rushing. So it's a different skill set. It's a different type of game, and that's unfair. It's really unfair to both of them to compare them because they play different games. Jalen Hurts will run the ball. Jalen Hurts has the potential to have over 1,000 yards rushing if he really just ran it like that. He does. He ain't gonna never throw as many yards as Dak Prescott did. I'm just saying, who do you trust more in a game, big pressure game? Who do you trust more? And for a lot of people who say it ain't Dak, that is the narrative that he has to change. Just like you just heard from LaShawn McCoy, who is a known hater. Okay? He is a hater. And I realize that. But that is the narrative that a lot of people believe in when it comes to Dak. And when you look at this particular team, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen them play ball yet. But common sense ought to tell you that this team should be pretty good. That was a different game, Kid Cowboy. 49ers had, they were like the Steelers of the 70s. Offense, defense, Montana was surrounded. They weren't really throwing the ball like we do now. Jerry Rice still, they threw it enough. Different era. But when it came to playoff time, other than Tom Brady, and Joe Montana, the cream of the crop. So, and Joe was known before Brady as probably the greatest quarterback ever lived. Different time. It's kind of like Bradshaw. Bradshaw was great, but he's also won 4 Super Bowls because he was surrounded by a Hall of Fame team, offensively and defensively. The highlights were showing him throwing to Lynn Swann and Stallworth and all that type of stuff, the bombs that he threw and all that, the acrobatic catches that Swan and Star Wars made. That's what we see. But Terry Bradshaw wasn't throwing the ball like crazy. It was a different game back then. It was a run-orientated game back then. He was great, no doubt. But when we say greatest quarterbacks of all time, Bradshaw name don't come up. It don't. And he got just about more rings than anybody. See what Jay Bryan said? That's it. Montana, he say Montana's still greatest quarterback of all time. For those of you that are young enough, you wouldn't understand what he just said. I saw it. The boy was special. Joe Montana was incredible. Broke a lot of hearts. Just as clutch as anybody that ever held a football in his hand. When it was money time, you did not want Joe Montana to have the ball. You didn't want it because you knew what was going to happen. It's almost kind of like Brady. Same thing. Well, Brady had, if you just went up, if it's 2 minutes left in the game and you on the opposite team and you scored and you went up by 5 points or you went up by 3 and it's only less than a minute to go, maybe 57 seconds left, you weren't comfortable with Brady having the ball. You were not. That was the fear factor. Matter of fact, the expectation was that Brady is going to get the job done. I mean, that's and Quack, look, check it out. Quack and Jay Bryant, let's just be honest. When we're talking about Joe, and I don't mean to get off the game, but when we're talking about Joe Montana, the 49ers really back then weren't really down a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? They were whooping people. I mean, come on now. But when the time came and Joe had to get the job done, Joe was clutch. Joe was super clutch. And I'm saying all of that because it's kind of like Mahomes now. Mahomes, if he gets the ball, y'all, I mean, there's an expectation that he just gonna get it done. When we watch that, a lot of people ain't thinking about it. He gonna get it done. A lot of people watch Dak and say, how you gonna mess it up? Some would say the same thing about Jalen Hurts. You want the ball in Jalen Hurts' hand. You want him to have it because you want him throwing the ball. You want Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. You don't want to, if he can't run it, you want Jalen Hurts to run the throw of the ball because you know he's prone to make a mistake. That is the narrative. And I'm setting up the stage for this whole season. And I'll be saying this a whole lot. There will be some games. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I don't like LeSean McCoy. I don't like LeSean. I didn't like him as a player. I ain't denying his greatness. I'm not denying that he was not a great running back. He was. I don't want you to think I'm hating on him. I just don't. I didn't like him because he played with Philadelphia. I didn't like him because he used to beat us. I didn't like LeSean McCoy. I definitely don't like him as a commentator because he's carried that Philadelphia hatred for Dallas, and of course it don't make him look objective. Everybody has adopted this wait until the playoff thing, but the Cowboys will win 12 games. Nobody don't want to talk about that, but if they lose, you'll start out. The Cowboys will now get the same energy. If you ain't worried about the regular season, don't talk about it when we lose. See what I'm saying? Oh, he'll harp in on that. But if the Cowboys win, he'll throw it out. Well, the Cowboys gonna win. Hey, you'll wait until January. No. We'll wait until January if we lose then. That just shows how hypocritical people like him and Steven they are. Shannon Sharp, same thing. When the Cowboys win, the narrative is wait till January. When the Cowboys lose, you want to talk about it. It's unbelievable. But Marlon says something true. And it's something LaShawn said in there that is true. And Marlon is absolutely right. It's Dak's job to make McCoy shut up. I got a feeling this is going to be one of these games, and I'm 3 months out, 4 months out before September 4th get here. I got a feeling this will be one of these type games. Of course, Jay, great point. That's called loading the gun up. You know what division you got. If everybody believes you can't stop the run, it's obvious that they're going to attack you that way. So what did Dallas do? As Jay Bryant just said here, look what they did. It's called loading up the clip. Just hope we got some bullets that know how to stop the run. This is what we got to do. Really be honest with y'all, man. The Cowboys, and I love it. You know, I know it's mixed with Schottenheimer's, philosophy, but I really believe that the Cowboys looked at this division that we got and said, oh, okay, well, we just need to really lock in on our division. If we can lock in on our division, we can play with anybody. We can beat anybody. I really believe that. Offensive line, defensive line. I really believe, man, Jay Bryant, Jay, listen to me. Jay, listen. Jay, I don't even know why y'all argue with Kid Cowboy. He's a Cowboy fan, but he reminds me of a fly that's in your room. He just nagging. And the more y'all talk to him, the stronger he gets. The reason why I put your comment up, Jay Bryant, is because last season he said Trey Lance was better than Dak Prescott. So of course he gonna say Jalen Hurts is better. Come on, man. He's also the same guy that said that Cooper Rush should be the starting quarterback of the Cowboys. Come on now. That's why you don't argue with Kid Cowboy. You don't argue. You don't argue. He said that Trey Lance gonna take his job. He said all that. That's why we don't. You don't listen to him. He said Trey Lance. Everybody's better than Dak Prescott, according to him. See what I'm saying? Did you see what he said? See, now he's behind Herbert. Herbert ain't won nothing. Herbert, if you ask him who the better quarterback, he'll say Trey Lawrence is better than Dak. He'll say Justin Herbert is better than Dak. You know, all these folks. That's why I you don't even worry about it. All right? But for real though, and I will give him credit about Jalen Hurts because it is a debate. You know, back then you say Carson Wentz was better than Dak when he was with Philly. Remember that? So, but Jalen's resume is looking pretty good. Let's go to schematics and then I'll let y'all go. This is fun. We got 4 months to hype this game up. A lot of stuff I'm saying we'll go back because I ain't even watched no film. I ain't done nothing with Philly. It's been since they won, so I ain't done that. But I will say this just off the top of my head. Let me say this. If it was Brandon Cooks out there, then Philly would play a certain way. Pickens is there, you got to play different. And let me say this. They got Mitchell and I forgot it, the other cornerback, Dejon. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they Pro Bowlers or first team All Pro. I don't care if it's the Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. I don't care. If you go one-on-one with CD and Pickens this year, I'm betting my money on Dak and those two guys. I don't care who it is. I don't care. I'm hoping that Philadelphia is cocky like that. I hope they do. Please go one-on-one. Please play one-on man to man. Please. Please. See, this is what happened when you load the gun up. Please go one-on-one with Pickens. Please go one-on-one with CD Lamb. Lord have mercy. Please. And see, that's why I'm saying, I said this before. See, you got to play the Cowboys a little differently now because Pickens is going to demand some respect. You ain't going to keep going one-on-one with Pickens. You're not going to do it. If you do, you're going to get beat up. I'll tell you that right now. Now, I know that for a fact. And whoever this new defensive coordinator is, and later on down in a few months from now, I'll lock in on their defensive coordinator, see what type of system he runs, and offensive coordinator, see what type of system they run. All that type of stuff. Ain't time for that yet. But we'll start breaking stuff down. We got 4 months to break this thing down, Jack. But I hope they defensive coordinator just don't think just because you got two who were both rookies last year, who stepped up. They won the championship. I mean, but please now, let's not get ignorant. Let's not get ignorant. Please don't go one-on-one with my two guys. Please don't. Huh? I'm just looking ahead, y'all. I'm just looking ahead, just slightly ahead. I don't care. I ain't got to wait to see film on this. You better play a 2-shell high look. I'm just telling you now. We're gonna play a cover 2 against them. Okay, Dak Prescott gonna eat you alive. We're going to play man. Well, your guys better be highly physical with them guys coming off the line. You got to throw off the timing because if you don't jam them good, Jack, they're going to hit their head on the goalpost. And there's also a narrative, y'all, that y'all ain't going to like. And I know I got coaches on here. I don't know if Coach Marv here. I saw him early in the chat. Marlon is here. I think he's still here. And all you guys, whatever you got. Now, I played ball. So I know that it's a team effort. Please do not get me wrong. I know that. I know a man can't win it by himself. I know it. I know they can't. Contrary to some people's belief. I know that they cannot win it by themselves. But here's a fact, y'all. Y'all don't want to admit it, but it's the truth. When you paying a man $60 million, there's expectations. There are expectations. When you're paying a man and he's the highest paid player in the entire league, there are expectations. I'm telling you. Y'all don't want to admit it. I'm just saying. It's the truth. Just the truth. And Dak, because of who he is, because of how much he's getting paid, and because there are tremendous expectations, he got to get the job done. He has to get the job done. That's what I'm holding him. And his career has done this. It ain't went down. The only thing wrong with Dak Prescott right now is he, he's a little injury prone. That's it. As long as he's playing, it's more positive than negative. It is. It's more positive than negative. I have high expectations for my quarterback, who is an all-pro quarterback. He was a couple years ago just an MVP candidate. He know how to play the game. I got high expectations. I do, for him. I expect him to lead this team. I know they're going to try to take the pressure off of him by getting a real good running game if they can. I get it. But there's going to be about 5 or 6 games that the running game ain't going to be there. And the game will have to fall into his hands. And with that, I expect greatness. Sorry. And guess what? That's what the owner is expecting. That's why he paid him like that. That's why he paid him like that. And I don't care what y'all say. We ain't making no excuses on my show. There comes a time when it's time to graduate. You done took all the good courses. You done learned everything. You got a team. You got potentially a very good offense that a lot of people are saying, including myself, will probably be a top 5 offense this year. I expect the Cowboys to do like he did. Dak will put 30 up on you. It just ain't no doubt about that. Even with lesser teams, Dak puts up 30. I'm expecting high scoring. I'm expecting that type of year when we just jump out on folks and let the pass rushers go. Same year. 49ers shut us up, playing a tough, rough game. You know what I'm saying? Being rough. And we were playing finesse. Kellen Moore was our offensive coordinator. Finesse game. Got us 12 wins. Just beating people up, but then we played physical teams. It was a struggle. That's the hurdle that we got to get past. That's what Schottenheimer comes into play. I got to have it this year. Now, don't get me wrong. As I said on my last show, did I say Super Bowl? Nope. Did I say NFC Championship game? Nope. Did I even say getting past the division round? Nope. What I said was, I have no doubt in my mind this year that the Cowboys will be in the playoffs. Now, what that means, I don't know. Is that wild card? Is that division? Is that winning the division? Is that, look, I don't care. Just get in. I carry a step further, my expectations. Barring injury, of course. I expect double-digit wins this year. I know I just said we got a tough schedule. I already know. I know what I said. I think this team is just going to be too good to stop. That's what I think. When you look at the schedule, let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all forgive me. Let me hang up. I wish I did some. I'm off my notes. Off my notes. Let me see if I can. Of course, you don't have the schedule, but I thought they had the team, all the people that we're gonna play. They already have the Cowboys Philly game already there. I know they ain't got that. When you get a chance, y'all look at all the teams that we're playing. It's a murderous schedule. Well, you know, the schedule ain't been made out yet, but I'm saying the teams that we're playing is already set. It's brutal. I believe we're playing the AFC West, so that's the Chiefs, that's the Broncos, that's the Raiders, and who else I'm thinking about? Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs. Who am I missing? Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers, and the Chargers. That's 4 rough ones right there. Throw in the division. We already know that. That's 6 games. That's 10 games right there. AFC West, and then our division. And it ain't no cakewalk neither game. Chargers won't be a cakewalk. Chiefs won't be a cakewalk. The Broncos won't be a cakewalk. And the Raiders, I believe the Raiders won't be a cakewalk as well. The division games, y'all already know how that go. So when you start thinking about it, I'm still saying I'm expecting 10 wins. 10 plus wins. I don't care how tough it is. We got weapons, man. We got weapons. I got to see it, man. I can't see if the Cowboys don't make the playoffs with this team. You know, if everything goes right, then it's really time to reevaluate everything. You can't put it's a loaded roster. Loaded. We gotta see how they play. I get you that. I know the defense got some questions, but I think they're talented enough to get jobs done. We should have one of the best pass rushes in the entire league. Seriously. When you look at all this rushing talent that we have, oh my God. Dante Fowler, who's gonna give you at least 8 sacks. We ain't gonna say nothing about Parsons. That's double digit. Sam Williams is coming back. You got the kid that we just drafted from Boston College. I mean, you got Lil Fowler. I mean, we loaded. Marshawn Nealon. We loaded. I ain't talking about Izzy. Excuse me, not Izzy, but Osi, who's gonna give you at least six sacks every year. I mean, we gonna rack up in sacks if we can get teams behind us. So, you know, I think that's not even a question on defense. I mean, we have where you can just keep throwing pass rushes in and out. That's what you have. That's what you got. Yeah, Cowboy. Anything positive about the Cowboys, you always got something to say they better. Somebody better. You're a Cowboy fan. It's just unbelievable. How you know the Giants gonna have better pass rush? How you know? I love Abdul Carter. I love him. I wanted him. That's the person I wanted in the whole draft. But how you know he ain't gonna get pushed around in the league? Very extremely quick. but he's small. How you know? How you know him and Thibodeau gonna be the great 1-2 punch? You don't know that. How you know the Giants gonna have a better pass rush? How you know? You don't know. You don't know. Just like I don't know about the Cowboys. I just figured just based off the 30 years you talk about and Dante Fowler giving you 7 to 10 sacks a year. Michael Parsons giving you double-digit sacks every year of his whole career, and Sam coming back, who's a problem. Projections. It's really projection. I just think they're gonna be one of the top sack teams in the league. It remains to be seen about the Giants, though. He's a rookie. I got to see how he plays first. If you ask me, do I think that Abdul Carr gonna come in and tear this league up? I say yes. I got to see it first. I got to see him do it against the Cowboys. I know that Terrence Steele ain't gonna lock in and beat the man up. I know. See? Terrence Steele may go off, beat the man up severely. Just saying. It is what it is. We got a lot to talk about during this game. And I just kind of went all around the world. But there's some tech, we're talking about, a great show would be, and it's kind of hard because you're going to be basing everything off last year. But the real question is going to be up front. I mean, that's what the game going to be won, y'all. I mean, I know everybody say that, but seriously. Can Tyler Guyton, can a rookie in Tyler Booker, and can BB and Steele and Tyron Smith, can they move the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles? That's simple. That's where the game gonna be won. So we gotta start looking, and we ain't gonna be able to know until game one, because none of those guys probably are not playing in the preseason. So we don't know the work that they're gonna put in unless you out there at training camp and you watching them hit other people, especially when they play, scrimmage another whole team and see how they're doing. That's just a small preview. We ain't gonna really know until week one. And that's a tremendous test to be going against the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. That's your first play. I mean, we'll see. We need to really know how Tyler Guyton is doing. We really need to see or hear about his improvement. That will give us, better confidence. We got to know, because, even Steele, Steele's a veteran, is he back to being his old self for real now? He done had surgery a couple years ago, played injured on it. The following year, they rushed him back as far as I'm concerned. And then he had this year to go here. Of course, another thing that we need to talk about when we start talking about our offensive line, the penalties, which has killed us for the last 3, 4, 5 years. That is a problem that we ain't solved yet. And we knocked the penalties down. There's a lot of stuff that we got to go over. We got a lot of stuff to go over before this thing really kick off. And hopefully my brain will work with y'all's help, and we can come up with some very interesting topics, because all eyes and attention is about getting better in Philadelphia. That's where we at. That's where we at. We know who we playing. Look, it's time. It's already time to start locking in. It's already time. It's time. First day of training camp, guess what? Your mind already on Philadelphia. I mean, you got some of the players that are trying to make the team. Their mind is somewhere else. But the veterans, oh man, they need to be talking to the tape room people now and telling them to get some film now on Philadelphia. They need to start getting ready. Dak need to start looking at the defense now. Just go ahead. You ain't playing in the preseason. You ain't doing nothing. Watch how they played defense last year. Find out who their defensive coordinator is. Go find the tapes of whatever team that he coached. If he coached on this team and got promoted defensive coordinator, we're good. Because that means he's going to pretty much run the same thing. So guess what? Get me, see what he does. If he came from another team, then go look at what team that he coached, see what he did, see what kind of system they ran, and let's go on start studying on it. Dak and them can go ahead and start getting ready. The offensive line, they can start getting ready. The offensive line is set. Booker is not going to play in the preseason. He shouldn't. And some folks can go and start getting ready now. We ought to be well prepared, just like they will be for us. We ought to be well prepared for Philly. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. I'm done. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Thanks for popping in with me tonight. I was glad to be on my regular channel. I'm not going to open up the lines tonight. Not to talk too long. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Sorry about that. Hopefully, at some point, like next time I go live, I promise I will open it back up for you guys. I'm quite sure y'all got a lot to say, as I do, about this. All right? And I appreciate y'all. Thanks for popping in. Hit that like button as you leave out. If you don't mind, give me just a couple more likes. I would appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that communicated in the chat line. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Keep the live notifications on. I might jump on here in the morning for the ride on the way to work. Oh man, thank you, Chris Glover. Chris Glover, first time. Let me. Y'all welcome Chris into the family. He said he'll be back. Chris, you are on Facebook. Okay. Chris, do me a favor if you like what I did, or if you're coming back, do me a favor and like the page. Turn your notifications on, so that when I come on live, you hit your phone or whatever device you have, and you'll be a part of the family. All right, y'all welcome Chris. I love when people see me for the first time. Chris, how you find out about me? Answer the question, if you don't mind, sir. How you find out about me? Did you watch, or what group? Are you watching me from a group page? And if so, let me know the group. 'Cause I shared it out. Maybe maybe that's how you got to me. I don't know. I just like to be proactive and find out how people see me for the first time, so I know what kind of strategy I need to come up with. Chris, if you still here, let me know. How did you find out about me? Y'all ain't not welcoming my brother Chris Glover into the show. Y'all say hello to Chris, man. We finna get out of here in a second, but Chris done interrupted me. Those of you that are on Twitter, I will have y'all squared away the next time. Matter of fact, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to reboot Twitter back to the page where y'all can, comment, because Twitter can comment, and I know a lot of you probably want to say something, and that's my fault. I will have you guys ready. I appreciate all of you on Twitter for that. You said through as the star turns on Facebook. Exactly. I shared it there. Man, I appreciate you popping in on me. I hope you follow me from now on. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for popping in. I hope I didn't bore you. Hope I did not. All right. I'm out. Chris, since this is your first time, I'm about to go ahead and quit it. As always, Chris, I jam my way out of here. I always give the little head banger music. I pride myself on that. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hope that I see you next time I come on. I'll be sure to share it. But since you have, put the notifications on your phone, you may not need the group no more, but I will be sharing it there as well. So I appreciate you. I'm out of here. Chris, do me a favor as I leave everybody tonight. This really is for Chris. I need you to just bob your head for me if you don't mind, sir. We're going to go ahead and close it out. I'll see y'all next time. I'm kind of like Ric Flair. I'm electrifying, Chris. I just feel like that. You don't believe me? Watch this. I'm out of here. This has been the one and the only, the Big Time Show.